If you spend any amount of time on eBay social media, you'll see a lot of people, including myself, flaunting really high revenue totals. We all like to say that we're a six-figure eBay seller or even seven-figure eBay seller. But what that doesn't actually show is how much money we're actually making. We've gone ahead and created a software called Flipped It, which literally provides you with the profit that you actually take home and make. So what I want to do in this video today is take you through 10 of my eBay sales and not only show you the revenue totals, but I actually want to show you the profits that have been able to come from it, because that is ultimately the number that we're working towards, and it's also a number that eBay kind of never provides us. So let's get away from speaking revenue and have a quick chat about profit. Probably the biggest change since we were last in here is the Hisense aircon. Bit of air cooling, bit of air heating. It's being heated up right now because it is still quite cold in the mornings. Coming to the end of winter, so this will be an absolute lifesaver for us in the summertime because it is absolutely boiling in this garage. Been boiling in it for 3 years, so I'm really happy to see that here. We've got a couple more in the bedrooms and one in the living room as well, so we're going to be good for summertime coming up. Top 10 sales, we have actually got 10 sales from this weekend. It's midday on a Sunday, so there's still some time to go to build up some more sales from the weekend, but we've only got 10 to talk about. We're going to go from the worst sale all the way up to the very best sale, and the best sale was actually a really good one, so stick around for that. I'm going to show you the whiteboard. The whiteboard is doing pretty well. We've actually achieved what we wanted to achieve from a monthly perspective, and we're only 17 days into the month. We've already hit it like crazy. So 8,300 is always the goal. We're on $9,000. 9 grand already. So we're doing an $83 average sale price. That's the reason why we've got 9 grand, is that we're selling at $83 a pop. You get your revenue build up pretty damn quickly when you're working on an $83 average sale price. So we want to be doing $277 every single day. That's our daily target to achieve 8.3. And we're going at $530 every single day for the last 17 days on eBay. What's selling? Well, that's what this video is going to be about. But what's being listed is a lot of video games. So you got a lot of Switch here. We've got a lot of PlayStation 2. Kate has done a monumental run of listings over the last week. She has got a draft bank for us of 100 listings in our draft bank. So if we want to go away on holiday for a month,
not a month.
Well, we could, because we've got basically a month's worth of listings. But Kate's obviously got a lot of other listings here. We're going to move our video games over to this wall. So we've got all of our PlayStation 4 right here. We've got our Switch that's starting to build up here. We've still got our Pokemon cards here, but we're going to find another place for that. But this will eventually go, all of these books, and this will be an entire video game cabinet. And I'm pretty certain the one behind the camera here is going to be a video game cabinet as well. So we're going to fill it up with video games. We're going to still condense that DVD category, as I've always touched on. We just haven't got around to it because we've been listing like crazy. And I've also just been doing some sorting of the video games from the haul as well. If you want to show this, Kate, all of these games in here are going to go to eBay Games. So all of those games, I'd dare say there's a good 100 or so. eBay Games are generally giving us about $3 to $4 a game. So there's potentially $300 to $400 just in cash that we can get back. We spent $4,500 with Selwyn a couple of weeks ago. So that's going to be $300 to $400 back really quickly. And then we've got all of these games here that I've ordered out per the $20 price point minimum that we go by. So we've got all of those rows plus all of that on the table to be listed up individually. And we've got a draft bank of 100 items. So you can see how the sales start to really come through when you've got such a nice backlog of really good quality product. So you've got to get yourself ahead of the game to be able to kind of manage it really efficiently and easily. So there's a bit of advice and a bit of an update on the way the world is working right now in here in this 5x3 single car garage. Pokemon Trainers Guide. I just went ahead and thought I'd list this one up. We got this one in a big bulk buy. Facebook Marketplace actually is where it came from. But these things sell really well, and it's just a little additional listing. There wasn't going to be a lot of money in it, but generally a really good sell-through rate for these sort of collectible items. So somebody might have the Pokemon game with the box, but they don't have the manual. That's often what happens. $15 is what we sold that for. Now we're using Flipped It for the financial tracking of all of this. So having a look at Flipped It, if I get the computer working, I should say. Pokemon Pearl version manual only was a $15 sale. Cost of goods I counted for nothing because it was just sort of an add-on. We made $4.70 because we're going to put that into a medium track post envelope. So $4.70 in profit for just a throwaway item. It's a free coffee. I thought I'd list it up. Now, the next sale that we've got coming in at number 9 is American Horror Story DVD season 1 to 5. It's sold for $25, tub number 43, but it's not. So I'm not going to go sit here for the next 20 minutes and try and look for it. But we are going to have to look for it before Monday afternoon. So that's a little bit frustrating. I always hate it when you don't find the item when it goes on to sell. It does happen every now and again. Sometimes we can do some heavy digging and we do come across it. Other times we don't. So that's a little bit frustrating. But yeah, tub number 43. It was only a partial season set, season 1 to 5, and it only sold for 25. So it's not a big loss if we have to refund it. But yeah, hopefully we do find it over the next couple of days. Okay, the next one that we've got here is a Pokemon card, Magneton. There it is right there, Magneton. This is a base set Pokemon card that we've got in a big haul. We bought a base set, a jungle set, a fossil set, and a base set too, and we're selling all of the individual holos. So this was a really nice sale that came through for $42.75 on a single Pokemon card. So $42.75, if we have a look at flipped it, that was going to get us $10 cost of good is what I accounted it for. We ended up making $18.62 in profit on that one there. So 18 bucks for a single Pokemon card. You picture how many Pokemon cards in a set. Times that out by 18 if it all went on to sell like that. These Pokemon cards are generating us some really good money in a really quick space of time as well. Just so you know, it's not in tub number 51 either. But it is over here, McLeod's Daughters sale. We ended up finding this out of tub 51. So McLeod's Daughters, this is season 1 to 6, and I'm pretty sure with McLeod's Daughters, that is a complete series set. The issue with that though is sometimes they do McLeod's Daughters like that, where a single season is done over 3 different DVD cases. That is going to be a very, very annoying shipment right there. So you got to think about it, right? When you're doing your comp research and you're checking to see what that's worth, if you're seeing it like this, you've got to account for a few more dollars worth of postage costs. This could be $12 to $15 worth of shipping costs, where if you had just 6 DVDs, the 6 actual DVDs, say for instance, we had these 6 right here as an example. These video games are the same size as the DVD. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in your shipping situation, right? So you've got to have that understanding of what is the total process of the item that I'm sourcing here, and your shipping size has a large determinant around what profit you're going to make on the item. That's going to cost $12 to $15. That right there, if it was to sell like that, it's going to go into one of these small padded mailers, $8.92. So we're going to go $8.92 right there, or $15 putting it into a big box. So, you know, a very big difference there in the way that we're going about our sale price and our eventual profit. But the McLeod's Daughters did end up selling for $45, and we made $15.28. I counted $12 for postage. So $15.28, selling it for $45. So that's not too bad. I've accounted for $10 worth of the purchase price of those DVDs. So spend 10 to make 15. Could have been better if they were smaller. Our first international sale here, we've got Army Men Lock and Load. This one was a nice complete plus manual, $24.95 plus off to the USA for $20 worth of international shipping on that one. So the profit on that PlayStation 1 was $16.30. Reason being is obviously the international postage means that $24.95 is pretty much our entire sale price for ourselves. And we shipped it off for, a buy price was, I actually accounted $0 for this, so I'm going to have to put in a couple of bucks. Cost of goods, I'm going to say is $5. It came in a big bulk buy, so we've got to account some money to it. So that actually brings it down to $11.30 on a $5 purchase price. All right, so we've got some jungle cards that have come through here. Some pretty nice jungle cards too. These are the Holos Nidoqueen. There's Nidoqueen, sold for $49. All of these are in lightly played condition. And then we've got this one here, Scyther, as well. That one actually sold for $65. Oh, Pidgeot. Sorry, it was actually, Scyther's the next sale. So we'll put that up on screen because that's the next one that sold. It just sold to a different buyer. But we had two $65 Pokemon sales, the Scyther and the Pidgeot. I don't even know if it's Pidgeot.
Oh, that's Pidget.
Pidget? I don't know. Who knows? That one I've never known how to pronounce it. But 65 plus 50, say, it's $115 worth of Pokemon cards. Say we're calling that at a $10 buy price, that's $20. 105 with the $20 buy price, only shipping it off for $7.50. There's a lot of profit in that. I think we've accounted, there's about $38 each is what the profit is. So we had the other one, the Magneton, selling for 19 in profit, these two for 38 in profit. So some really, really big turnaround because it's a nice and small item and it can be shipped off for just $7.50. A game here that I have not heard of before, but we got this off Selwyn just recently. It's actually a Japanese game, Samurai Maiden. There it is right there on the PlayStation 4. Not an Australian playback game. I don't actually know if these play back in Australia or not, because
It says Japan only on the back.
Japan only. Yeah, oh, for Japan only down the bottom there. I mean, they're still heavily sought after games. They generate a lot of interest, so I was still happy to go ahead and list that one up. $49 is what we sold it for. So that was a really good sale price. That'll go for another small medium envelope for $7.50 worth of shipping. So the profit on a $49 sale for Samurai ended up making us $27.26. Like none of these sales that we're having coming through for profit are really anything less than like $15 to $20. And that's really what you want. And the only way you get that sort of $15 to $20 in true profit, like your money to do what you want with, is to try and sell something for over that $50 sort of a sale price. So if you've noticed here with all of our sales, there were a couple of sales that came in under the 50, but a lot of them now are ticking off at 60, 70, 80, 100 odd dollars. And the profit potential that comes from that is just going to be so much greater when you sell a higher average sale price. All right, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. We have a lot. Actually, Kate, just come and run the camera over these PlayStation 4 games, because if you guys want any of these PlayStation 4s, there's some really good titles. So if there's anything of interest, just let us know on Instagram at the Aussie Flipper, because we can do 15% off for any of these sales. They're just some really rare games that I haven't seen a lot of. So if you're a collector of this sort of stuff, I can give you a good deal. But The Amazing Spider-Man 2, that one sold for $70. And the profit on that was actually $43.16. So that sold in the space of what? The same day?
A day, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the same day sale. We'd have to have a look at the data on that, but I'm pretty sure it sold instantly. So it's a good one to find. Now, here's a lesson in never believing that revenue depicts how good somebody's eBay business is going. Because this item here is our number one sale. $333 we got for this. Ooh. A lot of money. Sailor Moon, the complete series on Blu-ray. We bought this at a JB Hi-Fi retail arbitrage. We paid $150 to buy this, right? And that's the thing with revenue. Like, profit is the number that you need to be tracking. If you guys aren't tracking profit, that's why we've got flipped it. So we can see exactly how much money we've actually made from the item. With this item here, because we bought it for $150, the fees and the postage, the fact that it went overseas with international shipping, we're actually only making $61.34 in actual profit. So we get our $150 back, but we only make an additional $61. So when you sell something for $333 and you're only making $61, you can very quickly grow a really high revenue number, but you've actually only got a very small amount of profit on percentage. So take it with a grain of salt. When you see these stores that communicate really high revenue totals, we don't actually know what they're buying it for. So don't get caught in the trap of thinking that you need to grow a massive store with a lot of revenue. What you really want to be focusing on is profit. And that's exactly what the e-profit calculator and also Flipped It provides. So as you saw earlier, our numbers are really flying. We're looking to actually project to do about $16,000 on eBay for the month of August, which would be the best ever month in over 5 years of selling on eBay full time. So that is an incredible number to projectively see. We're just going to try and work really hard to get there. But with 100 draft listings, I really do think that's the secret sauce to selling on eBay. If you've got a big draft bank, you can really sit back and relax knowing that you've got active listings going up for the next indefinite amount of days. I really needed that this week, because a bit of an update is that if anybody doesn't know, I had a stroke about 3 months ago, and I had a procedure on my heart just last Wednesday, only about 4 or 5 days ago. That's knocked me down a little bit, not being able to get on top of my eBay stuff. So Kate's been great in the sense of being able to list up a lot of those 100 draft orders. While I was in hospital. I was only in hospital for a couple of days. I'm recovering really, really well. The stroke was deemed to be caused by a hole in the heart, a PFO. and that was repaired. They basically just patched up the hole. And the recovery from this is only going to be a 4 to 6 week period before I'm back up and running, potentially feeling even better than I was previously. You're off, Kate? Yeah, all right, see you later. So yeah, it's nice to be in this position now where I'm sort of post, I guess the procedure, because that was the big thing over two to 3 months that I was kind of hanging out for, is getting the procedure done so I can start to feel better and recover. And that's the case. I'm in that position now. So feeling really, really grateful. Happy that the eBay business hasn't suffered throughout this period of 2 to 3 months of, I guess, strangeness on a health front. But yeah, we're rolling really smoothly. The numbers are looking great, and we've got the confidence behind us using things like Flipped It to get the job done. So I just thought I'd touch on that, guys, because life does get in the way every now and again. But as long as you have that persistent mindset of going, look, all I need to do is just draft up listings to stay ahead of the game. When these sort of life situations get in the way, you've got a nice little backlog of inventory to be able to keep the ball rolling. But appreciate you being here for this one, guys. I'll leave you with this video right here. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on this channel as well. So if you're yet to subscribe, it would be fantastic if you go ahead and do that. But we'll see you over there for that one.